Welcome to another discussion episode. If you come to us for the news, you'll be disappointed this week. We're going to be talking about the state of collecting 2021, revisiting 10 years in the distant past to see what we were talking about then, what things were costing. Talk a little bit about our experiences back then compared to now. And we were talking about an easy way to do this show. I'm out of town. You can tell my cool, fancy, what are those called? Not ascots.
Lamps.
When to the wall. A sconce. That's what you call it. A sconce.
Yeah, wall sconce.
Semen-covered wall sconce.
Murder scene.
I'll give someone props if they're hitting those things up there, man. Unless they're purposely trying to.
That's what I do. Cover everything.
And I gotta pull up we didn't do any show notes, and I forget. Even after 220 times, I forget what I need to say here. If you want to kick it with us, we want you to do it live here every other Sunday, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Or no, wait. Now I'm all off, right? 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. That's right. On YouTube, you can like it, and I haven't even had anything to drink yet. I think that's the fucking problem.
Oh, that's the problem. You don't function without the juice. That's the problem. Well, you better go juice up, man.
I got it right here.
Okay.
Fancy shot glass. So
Right.
if you can't do YouTube, kick it with us with our Facebook group. It's facebook.com/group/openyourtoys. If you just want to follow along with the show, you can like our Facebook page at facebook.com/openyourtoyscast. If you want to see everything that we're normally talking about when we are talking about news, you can go to openyourtoys.com. Top of the page there's going to be show notes. You can check out all that. You can subscribe to us through Spotify, Apple, Google, RSS, Stitcher Smart Radio. Email us at team@openyourtoys.com. Call us at 720-235-TOYS. Where can people find you, Lotus?
They can head over to YouTube, type in Lotus Stark, and watch some videos over there, or they can hit me up in the Open Your Toys Facebook group. I still post pictures of, when I go to stores on the weekends.
And I've been traveling. Did you do a walkthrough this weekend?
Yeah. I found a whole. We can talk about it. It's part of the conversation, I think.
I think it might be. Cliff, what about you, man?
I post in the group as Red Menace, but usually most of my posting is done on Instagram under Associate of Horror.
Yeah, and what about you, Bat Ass?
You can find me on the group here, and usually I'm commenting on anything Cliff posts. So
he does have some very commentable posts. Well, the fact that he just shows us every toy he buys.
And every movie I'm watching.
Yeah. And Rock, what about you, sir?
You can find me on Facebook in the group. You can find me on my YouTube channel, Rock the Farting Dad. And you can check out my eBay page with my ever list of growing toys that are for sale on eBay. User ID RockDM. Check it out. Big fire sale going on.
You should get some T-shirts made, like with your eBay ID, and just walk around with it, man.
Oh,
I feel like I'll be like that guy Renee from Storage Wars.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
guy with the Austrian accent.
Oh,
come by my figures. I got at this unit.
His accent. Yeah, his accent is funny. Yeah,
his wife's tits are ridiculous.
That would be a thing to, like, if we ever represented Open Your Toys cast at a con, man, have the logo in the front and our eBay IDs on the back. Brinkalizer, you guys can steal that for your next Realm T-shirt. By the way, welcome, Brinkalizer. Sorry, everybody, for being so late. Like I say, I'm out of town and doing family shit and all this kind of shit. And sorry for starting late. Again, out of town, doing shit with family and all that shit. And last but not least, a special guest star, a blast from the past, Alias Angel Alias.
Hello,
What's
ladies.
up, dude?
I took a sabbatical. I know.
Yeah.
No, actually, no. Someone called me out, so I had to be on the show. So
Oh, nice.
I'm just
that.
Oh, because what? Because of your long questions?
yeah,
Or not?
yeah. So I
Yeah.
have to defend my questions.
That's
My
okay.
questions are amazing.
No, you have good questions, but you write these long questions. So I'm just like, just join the show and talk about it.
That's why I'm here. What's going on, guys?
Nada, where can people find you, dude, and your fabulous photography?
All right, you guys could come on over to the Open Your Toys podcast group. You can find me posting stuff there, and also at my Alias Angel Alias and Facebook page, where you can find some hot deals and some of my photography work.
Oh yeah, some hot deal. Oh yeah, because you post good deals when they're around. I'm like, are you selling stuff now?
No, I'm not selling nothing. I'm broke as you.
Isn't that why you would sell?
No, man, we don't sell,
It's a
man. We
good
keep all
time
our
to
collection.
I know.
We only buy.
That's the fucking problem.
Yeah. How's that Star Wars? How's that Star Wars
Me?
collection, Jason?
That's growing, right, Jason?
Internet is flaking.
Oh no. Are you on a delay?
Oh no, my internet's flaking.
Yeah, he's on a
Can you
delay.
hear me now?
Oh, yeah,
You're,
we can hear
you're,
you.
you're
Oh,
lagging.
Oh, am I? Oh, fuck.
The lottery numbers are.
Shit.
Watch this.
All right. Well, if you want to get a hold of me, you can do it at Instagram at Slick McFavorite, on the YouTube group. Email me, slick@openyourtoys.com. I can't even remember my other shit. That looks like it. Facebook, Jason Spiller on Facebook, which I somehow dumbly named both my profiles Jason Spiller, so I constantly have to fucking be like, no, you're an Open the Toys guy. Oh.
So, are you lagging right now, or can you hear us in real time?
I think I hear you in real time.
Okay.
Did I
So-
just answer you right away?
Yeah, so what's interesting is without the booze, it seems like you're definitely a little bit off your game. Like you're not as
Agreed.
relaxed. You're definitely
Agreed.
not. So this is a social experiment. So are you without having,
How long have you
something?
been dry, buddy?
Yeah. I mean, is this
It's been all day, dude. Like,
Oh,
I
shit.
drove up.
Oh.
And I drove 6 hours. I was in the
Yeah,
hot
you got
sun and shit like that.
No. He just doesn't seem as relaxed as he is, and he's not on his game. So I just, it's just interesting to see him like this because it's never, he's always on his game.
Well, and I'll tell you what, a lot of it is because we don't fucking have show notes. Like,
Oh.
so I'm like, and I normally have 2 screens, so I have show notes up here, and then I'm looking down here, and all this kind
Well,
of
we don't need to do all this
It's-
intro stuff. We can just skip to it and just start talking about toys.
Yeah, because I'll ask, is anybody drinking anything interesting? Because all I have is, I guess I have lemonade from a little girl's lemonade stand here in Buffalo, Wyoming, population 18,000. So this is kind of sweet. I've
So
been
there was a
using it to
lemonade
chase
stand?
shots. Yep. Right on Main Street, too. I'm like, man, they've got to be doing a killing.
Yeah, that's sketchy.
Yeah.
It's good. It's actually, I always buy from lemonade stands whenever I see them. Just support young entrepreneurs, and this has been one of the better lemonades I've had. And they even put a little lemon slice in it, so that was impressive.
So
All right.
I don't know. I just don't. I don't see lemonade stand. I mean, what do you mean you frequently buy from lemonade
Yeah, like you see these
stands?
a
Like,
lot because I've never seen one in like
what
a
in the
decade.
where are you in the world? Like, I mean, on Cybertron, there's no lemonade stands.
Well, like I say, I'm in a Wyoming, a small Wyoming town, population like 18,000 or something. So this is a little bit, easier to believe. But even in our neighborhood, man, we're in a suburb. We're the suburb immediately south of Denver, and we have lemonade stands all the time. Not all the time. Sorry, maybe 2 or 3 times a year there'll be a lemonade stand in my neighborhood.
Oh, okay. Brink's got a funny question. He says he says it's nice. He says it's nice that they let you run a podcast in rehab. The funny thing is you look like you're in a rehab hotel or something.
As the member of
halfway
the
house.
podcast that's been to rehab, that looks nothing like a rehab room.
Okay.
Are we talking cinder block walls or something more?
No, it just looks like a hospital room.
pastels? Okay.
It just looks like a hospital room. I did have a bench in my shower though, and I really enjoyed that.
When I hurt my leg, I'll tell you what, there's a amount of luxury involved in showering while sitting down.
Oh, dude,
Shit.
it's the best.
All right, everything's frozen up on me again, so hopefully it's not bad.
No, you're still running the farm.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. So
That's pretty funny.
And I want to say a big shout out to Ed Arndt, who's in the chat, making the show for the first time. Welcome. This man has helped me many a time with pointing out stuff that's coming out and available for pre-orders. So, all right. So what I want to talk about, let's talk about this of collecting. So it would have been really nice to say that we're like post-pandemic, which I don't know where you're at, but Colorado's lifted all shit. I don't wear a mask anywhere unless I'm with her. Our daughter still wears a mask, and when I'm with her, I'll wear it in solidarity with her. But besides that, I don't have to wear a mask anywhere. Our restaurants are 100%. So we're kind of post-pandemic, it feels like, in Colorado, but I didn't want to put that. So we'll just go with 2021. The pandemic has really flipped shit on its head when it comes to collecting, in my opinion, at least. Of course, this is going to be a opinion show. So I went to a couple toy shows this weekend. One was half cards. I had seen that. This is a regular toy show.
It was half what cards?
Sexers?
What kind of cards? Sexual cards? You broke up there. You might have to
Sport
speak
cards.
slower to keep up with the packets.
There you go. Oh, that's true. I should slow my gait down a little bit, do my politician talk. But it was half sports cards, which was insane to me. I had never seen something like that. At the other toy show, the most popular booths were made things. Like there's this dude that did like these teddy bears and the normal cast of people that kind of stuff.
Okay, I'm still losing you,
And
Jason.
those were
Yep, he's gone.
Yep, he's frozen now.
I think the best bet for this rehab Wi-Fi would be to just turn your video off so you have more. Yeah, I think. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's a good idea. That is a very good idea. That way I can move around and do what. Jesus Christ!
It's either that or knock on your neighbor's door and tell them to stop streaming porn.
So that's what we're calling the show, right?
All right.
The Rehab Cast.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Oh, that
Or Slick's on the lam right
All right,
now.
let's see.
Right.
Yeah.
Witness relocation because all the Target Secret Service is after him for his
Yeah,
extreme
no shit for those
couponing.
returns he does.
Fuck, we can't find him. He's in Wyoming returning Transformers. Get him!
It's because of Slick that they're going to be restructuring the DPCI program
Yeah.
and actually have individual itemization instead of random DPCIs.
I think they heard about him liking lemonade
Oh,
stands.
my-
Now they're setting up the checkpoints to find
Oh
out.
yeah. That girl at that lemonade stand, she
Yeah.
was part of the
Yeah,
the
she's
whole
taking
plan.
pictures and
Yep. Because I mean, who the hell has lemonade stand? That's what I'm saying. I bet you they are following him through the lemonade
Yeah,
stands. That
yeah.
I think that's the whole deal here. It's a conspiracy, but
Poor Slick.
okay. Are you caught
you
up?
can
Can you
see
hear
my
us in real
face.
time now?
I'm hoping so. Did I
Okay.
answer that in real time?
yeah,
I think
yeah,
it was pretty good. Okay, go for
Okay,
it.
yes, I did.
Yeah.
Okay. So, anywho, so that was kind of crazy. So that was another toy show that I've gone to that would have been primarily toys, but they just had, dude, one of the craziest booths was a Pokemon booth. Like, it was just slammed, people all around it. And again, these are just things, I've been going to toy shows in my area, at least for, over 10 years now, and I've just never seen anything like this. So that relates back to everything, and just collecting in general has kind of gotten crazy. I haven't kind of kept an eye on changing prices. Rock, you're probably the most qualified for that, right? Kind of tracking what Joe's cost before the pandemic, what do they cost now, other kind of vintage stuff, because it does kind of seem to be a vintage. You're always gonna have flippers with the exclusives and hard to finds, but vintage is, from my experience, just seems to be going through the roof right now.
I would say it's up 25% over a year ago. And that's part of the reason why I'm glad we're having the show we're having today. I'm borderline getting out of it. I'm basically, after I moved and got, no, I'm being dead serious. Like, after I moved and kind of got disgusted with how much stuff I had, I came to a point when I started unpacking this room. If I'm not displaying it or it doesn't have any nostalgia, it's going. And I've even sold some vintage pieces that I bought that just, I'm not displaying. They do nothing for me. And I'm just getting rid of a lot of stuff now. It's just,
That's
it's
a really
nice to
good
put-
strategy. That's a really good
Yes.
strategy, though. If you can't display it, and I've been saying this for years, that if you can't put it on display
Oh, yeah.
and you have it in a tub, then what is the purpose of that? What?
No, you're absolutely right. And that's what I got to. I got to a point of, I love having this stuff, but what is 73 carded G.I. Joe 25th figures doing for me in a tub? Nothing. And some of them are going for $40, $50. A lot of them are $25. But you take, even if you average them out at $25 each, at 70 something of them, it's a good amount of money. You got like $2,000 there, sitting in two tubs. That if you had $2,000 sitting in a tub, you'd put it in your pocket. So what am I doing with leaving all these toys in there? And it's just a matter of, I don't want to go through what I'm going through with my dad. My dad has 70. He passed away. He has 70 full-size autographed helmets, football helmets, and they're all in an acrylic case. And he's got about 50 autographed football jerseys and hockey jerseys and all kinds of sports memorabilia. And it's in Pennsylvania. My mom doesn't know what to do with it. She had somebody come to the house. The guy robbed her. He bought like a couple pieces off her for like $50 an item, like a Joe Namath signed jersey. My mom sold for $50. I just don't want to be in a situation where I want to leave somebody in the lurch with all this stuff, and just more about, I enjoy having it, but how much is enough? I have this big room, and I'm like, it's wall-to-wall toys. I have a walk-in closet, wall-to-wall boxes of toys. I have enough. And the market's hot. I'm just cashing out right now.
Fuck yeah.
I haven't bought anything in months now.
Wow, really? You don't have the rare, especially, well, now eBay pays you outright to your account, so you don't have the.
I don't have that
free money
free PayPal money,
anymore.
But you know what it is?
exactly.
I'll be completely honest with you. What I want to buy, what things are going for right now, I'm not willing to pay that. I'm not willing to pay $400 for a mint on card third tier GI Joe character. I'm not. Like, I'm not paying $400 for Footloose. I'm not doing it. And I'm at the point now that things have reached a point that I'm not willing to pay that kind of money anymore.
Let's kind of go around the room and talk about what kind of collectors we are, individually. Let's diagnose why each of us kind of, collect, because we're all very different in our way that we have collected throughout the years. So maybe we should kind of do a little bit of a deep dive on individually, how and why we collect the way we do. Even if you've exited, there's still many years of, so do we want to maybe look into that, or?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
So I'll go first.
Okay.
Mine's easy because it's like.
I don't think yours is easy. I'd actually like to talk to you about it.
Okay. Really? This is going to be an
Just getting
intervention.
burned today.
We can't get an intervention. He's already in rehab.
You're already in rehab. Okay, you need to get a couple shots, and don't worry about it. They won't see. And the lemonade girl, she's got RFID.
She's already got your report on it. So.
Listen, the bottom of that cup you're drinking from the lemonade stand has an RFID chip in it anyway, so she already knows what's going on. She knows how many times you're gonna hit that cup.
It'll short out the one he got with the Vax.
So basically, my goal for collecting is eventually to have a huge fucking space to display all this stuff. So I don't go completist on a lot of shit. So I will pick small sub teams like Tiger Force, Python Patrol, like the goofy Transformer gimmicks. So I love the clones and the jump starters and stuff like that. But I don't need a full cast of characters. Even Star Wars, like I easily can just take or leave shit. I don't have to have this alien and this senator or anything like that. There's been a few lines that I just started and I ended up like being close to complete on a lot of stuff, so I just went there, and that was Motu Classics, a complete collection of that to this point, and I guess now it's done, so I literally have a complete collection of it. G.I. Joe 25th, complete collection of that as well. The things outside of retail that I hunt are vintage things that have meaning. Like I would eventually like a complete loose Star Wars collection of figures. So each time I'm at a toy show, I'll buy a complete, the quality for the price I want to pay, Star Wars vintage figure or a G.I. Joe vintage figure, so complete at the price I want to pay. That's what I tend to only do that like one, maybe two at the most at a show. So basically I'm spending a ton on retail. So buying what I like that's out there right now, but cherry picking most things. I'm not looking for full waves of anything for the most part. And again, the whole goal and how I rationalize this to myself of this, like you say, I have just a shot in the dark. I have 130 totes filled with toys.
Jeez.
130 totes. Easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
Don't ever move.
And the goal is, hey, if I can get fucking 5,000 square feet of space to do this. Now, again, as I get older and I don't become a millionaire, I understand that that's probably not happening in my lifetime.
You already are, dude. You're sitting on it.
But no, but a lot of this is, and like you say, if you took the time to part all this, to single piece this out, I have a complete Clone Wars, the animated Clone Wars figure collection, all of them carded, as well as any of them that I wanted to open up. So, but to get the money from that is going to take a lifetime. I mean, Rock's exactly right. I'm dealing with this with my family. I'm up in Wyoming because we just did an estate sale for my grandfather that passed away last year. And it's just insane the amount of stuff he had. And he only started collecting stuff like the last 5 years of his life, and I couldn't.
And didn't you say he had a
imagine.
small house, so he really didn't have a ton
Yeah.
of room to stockpile all this stuff?
Yeah. Oh no, that was my uncle. So my uncle's a little bit different. He
I'm sorry.
passed away recently. No, that's okay. No, my grandfather, he had a much larger house, big garage, that kind of thing. So that's kind of where I'm coming from. Is I don't buy a lot of super high-end stuff. I cherry pick things, but then I have focuses, which everybody loves to focus, where I buy everything. So I have 67 versions of Snake Eyes. 67 of them.
Christ, the worst.
Yeah, I just think you're missing about 40 of them.
Yeah, no shit. You're not even close.
It's like the worst character.
But I absolutely love him and Storm Shadow. That was my shit when I was a kid. So I like to collect different versions of characters. I have 102 Optimus Primes. And again, I'm just throwing out wild ass numbers here, but yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. So that's kind of how I collect. And beyond that, was there something else you wanted to know?
Well, no, I mean, the only thing that I was going to say is just knowing you throughout the years here, you're a big time collector, and you don't do a whole lot of selling.
I've sold $5,000 or maybe $8,000 over 15 years.
Right. I mean, you get very excited about selling. Like, for example, that Star Wars collection that you bought. You were very passionate and very excited, and I mean, I felt that you were gonna get on a roll, but it just never happened. So, once you realize that you're more of a store and pack kind of a person. I mean, you play with your figures. I mean, so you obviously have your whole office full of figures and you've got them all around, and that's really cool. But the truth is, most likely, are you really going to have a 5-10? I mean, who the heck has a 5 or 10,000 square foot space? Like that's, that guy Michael Crawford, he has a barn that is probably 10 or 20,000 square. I don't know how big it is, but he talks about his barn, and that's something that he's done, with his collection. But
Those are awesome updates.
That's crazy amount of. It's just crazy amount of time and effort and money to kind of put into that. So I mean, is it really going to ever happen? And you have to eventually just make the decision to be like all of us and just start selling here and there.
Yeah, no, and I think the way I look at it is something either is going to happen to me, suddenly. And
right, but why would you want to have? Yeah, why would you want to have Mrs.
No.
McFavorite and your family have to go through that?
No, you are exactly right. So they would just sell it for pennies on the dollar, and still would be a nice big fat chunk of change coming their way. So that's the I pass away soon. And now I can kind of see the finish line. I maybe, if I push it, have 20 years, I'm going to be in the workforce. 10 of it's going to be with my daughter as she's a teenager, and that's going to be my priority, and, and all this kind of stuff. So, yeah, you're exactly right. Like, it is not in the cards, because what Mrs. McFavor and I want to do is get an RV and go live in a different city for a year, either
Right.
in the RV or in an apartment or something like that. That's what we want to do with our retirement: live 30 different places in 30 years.
Yeah, and I think that's a
Yeah.
very admirable thing to have a goal for, in retirement. That's something that a lot of people do in retirement is just travel the world,
Yeah.
and like you said, if you're purchasing an RV or a Mercedes Sprinter or whatever, you can't have 130 totes. You can't. You can maybe have one tote.
No,
You know?
Lotus. What he's gonna have to buy is he's gonna have to buy a tractor trailer with the sleeper bed, and then he's gonna have a double tractor trailer.
Dual tractor
with
trailer.
Two big fucking trailers with toys.
You ever see
thrown
like
in
those? I've seen those FedEx trucks. Like my wife has one of our friends' husband drives a UPS truck every night from Long Island to Baltimore. He drops the 2 tractor trailers, picks up 2 and brings them back. That's gonna be slick traveling the highways and byways with his toy collection in the fucking truck.
Now, wait. You laugh, but that is actually an interesting idea. So let's say that you take, you take them, you take a loan out to actually purchase a tractor trailer, a big rig, and have a full trailer. Have the Open Your Toys logo on the side, have it all wrapped, Open Your Toys, and just tour your collection. I mean, that might be interesting. That could be a source of revenue.
Oh
But
my God.
the rig has to have the big goblin face on the front of it.
Yeah.
From
right.
Maximum Overdrive.
Yeah.
Maximum Overdrive. Yeah.
This is
One
the
of my
Pork Chop
favorites of
Express, and I'm
all
heading to
time.
Target. I got a bunch of shit to return, and I don't have a receipt. And if
Paid
you
your
don't
dues, Jason? Yes, sir. The check is in the mail.
No, I mean, all kidding aside, I just, just because, we're all friends here, and, I think you just have to think about the, you got to think about the end game, and,
I
what,
agree. And that's, like I say, it is getting to the point, well, and like I say, with my unemployment and stuff like that, it's getting to the point where this has to get done. So, and that's where I've always been clutch, and I'm hoping, fingers crossed, 25 years later after college and high school, that, when the pressure's on, I'm going to have to get it done. It's real easy right now. Everything is kind of on the up and up, financially, because of some other things I have going on. So it's one of those things. I don't have to do it yet, but I know I need
but
to.
I just don't think you should wait for a rainy day. I really
No, I
feel, just
agree.
a friend
No, I
friend to
agree.
friend. I really feel that we all joke about you using the word focus and not really understanding what the definition of focus actually is. And we do joke about with you, but truly, there really must be something that in your heart you really do focus. And I know it's snowy characters. You love the snow, and you love characters that are purposed in the snow. So, in my opinion, just knowing you, that would be your true focus, is having any toy line that is a snowy figure, or has a snowy diorama, or whatever, a snow purposed figure. And so that would be my focus. If I were you, I would have a huge display of just every toy line, and the characters that are meant to be in the snow. That's it.
I like it.
That's it.
That
It would be
was-
so
yeah.
purposeful, and so clean, and something that no one else has. You don't need 1,000 figures. You don't need it.
I agree. Yeah, that would be a perfect use of, like, 300 to 400 square feet. A nice white room.
It'd be
amazing
so
dioramas.
cool. I mean, and
like
it
that idea.
would be so cool, literally, because you could make the room cool, like ice cold, and have dry ice on the floor. I mean, we're talking a whole snow room. I mean,
I agree.
oh,
Brinkalizer says you'll never keep your figure standing while living in an RV. So
Yeah, that's true. The fucking people fall over all the time.
Exactly. So that's me. And can we move on and
Yeah.
intervene in somebody else's life? Cliff, how about you, bro?
I don't know what my collecting story is. I think what my primary, I mean, I think it just goes back to the fact that I'm a movie fanatic, is that I buy all movie-based toys. I love them. It's like a relic from the 80s.
All movie-based toys?
Pretty much, I like the actors' likenesses. That way I can use them for customs if I need them. So I don't know if it's all movie-based toys. Like,
Okay.
you know, I buy NECA stuff. I buy the MCU stuff. I've been really trying to complete the MCU stuff. What am I
Which
looking
is
at?
that's a great like subgroup.
Yeah.
Very expensive, a lot of figures obviously, but you almost convinced me to start doing that, because I was like, that is kind of a cool thing to just do all the movie-based likenesses of everything.
Hey,
Some-
Cliff, can I ask something? When you first joined Open Your Toys, and you were showing off mostly your horror action figures and anything that related to Friday the 13th, Jason's, and as you're coming on to the show more and more frequent, and your collection grew, like not just horror, like you start collecting like Marvels, and you would have Star Wars figures too, right? And it seems like you're evolving.
No,
Like-
well, see, horror is probably the most fun to collect. But so I started listening to this show 10 years ago because other than that trash line Transformers you guys talk about all the time, my focuses were G.I. Joe, Masters, Star Wars, and Mask.
Uh-huh.
That's why I found this show. I was like, oh my God, other than
I
that
see.
garbage, this is a pretty good show. And really, I don't actually hate Transformers. I just have no interest in Transformers. Right. So, but I have all the Mask toys I need. I have them all. I have everything from series 1 through 3, so that's done. I, like Jason, am slowly building a retro Star Wars collection. Star Wars Black has finally started nailing the actors' likenesses, so now I'm buying Star Wars Black.
Right. It just seems like in every episode, your collection grew more and more. Like
you should like
bystanding,
right now,
just watching you. You know, like you're showing your hauls. Like, whoa, you getting this now? Really? That's the Cliff I used to know. I was like, whoa, he's buying this now. I was like, wow. Who are you?
You should really go to Facebook and check out the album Cliff Cave, which is like 10 years old. You want to see all the toys I have. Like right now, I'm in a temporary living situation. So I basically my Instagram now is to document it so I know I have it and fucking pack it away.
I see. I thought the show sucker punched you into buying so many things.
No. I mean, I'm still doing the same. So like I have my character focuses would be Superman and Captain America. So I buy any Superman, any Captain America. I fucking have a Superman. Well, I'm backwards. I have a Superman tattoo. Like I'm Superman all day.
And don't forget Nosferatu. That focus.
That's a tiny focus though, because I'm looking. I'm looking at all of the Nosferatu figures that exist right now in my nightstand.
One shelf.
Yeah, one. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 action figures. Done. Because Nosferatu is one of my favorite movies. A movie that my dad used to show me and my brother when we were kids. So I fucking love the character design. But that kind of just gets melted into horror. I mean, I buy a lot of the horror shit.
Can I ask you one question? Do you think the show accelerate you to buy more, or not, or just the same?
I think it's the same. I just have an outlet now to show it.
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
Because again, you have to understand, I have friends that I've had for 20, 25 years, and it's not like I can call them and be like, dude, you got to check out this fucking reaction figure I just got. because they'd be like, "What the fuck is a reaction figure?" And I'd be like, "Oh, it's an action figure that's based on vintage Star Wars, but now they got these active line. What is that? It sounds like popcorn. Does anyone else hear
what's
that?
going on?
It's probably
Sorry, that must be
Slick
me.
is packetizing over there.
It could be air conditioning making that noise.
Yeah, it's like it's a,
No.
Are you getting raided right now?
yeah, like,
Yeah, you sounds
something on
like
fire.
sounds like you're on the run. Sounds like you got your buds in. You're on the run.
Get the rig started! Get the rig started!
Get it?
But hey, Cliff, besides talking to you guys and my friend from Star Joe's, the guys at my office took my figures on my desk. They
I saw.
had Bill Murray
Yeah, I saw it
sodomizing
too.
Ultimate Warrior, and they left it there so everybody could see Ultimate Warrior taking it in the ass. So that's that's what the adults at my job think about toys.
Yeah, in high school, my friends Chris Keenan and Joe O'Leary used to do that to my 25th anniversary Duke and Heavy Duty, but they had removable clothes, so it was getting a little more risque. But they used to do that because I used to have shit like in my closet, and they would literally, like, I would go out of the room to do something, I'd come back and, like, yeah, Duke would have his pants down and he'd be riding Heavy Duty. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Like, but
Duke,
no, I don't know.
Duke's
if
a snicker licker.
I'll tell you what accelerated my toy collection, AAA, is getting clean in 2008. I needed, when you're in rehab, not to joke about rehab, but when you're in rehab, they kind of hammer into you that you need to find something called sober leisure.
Yeah.
You need to relearn how to live without tying everything to using.
Right.
And I was like, well, the last thing I loved before drugs was action figures. That's what I used to collect action figures. I used to buy Wizard magazine. I got really into Wizard because they used to have this section called Homemade Heroes, which is where people would show off their customs. So I got really into that. And then I was doing that until drugs. So even though during my active addiction, I would still buy, like, I bought the Michael Myers and Loomis NECA set because I saw it at Suncoast Video, and I'm like, I fucking need this. Yes, you know, but so
Actually, that's actually true because I practice medicine for people who has addictions, and what I do is I use acupuncture to treat the patients. But however, I also recommend it that we're taught this to tell our patients that to get off one addiction, you need a new addiction, something that's less harmful to you, like pick up photography or pick up jogging or do something different. If you like toys, then hey, collect that. Because there's got to be something else that channels this addiction. Otherwise, they couldn't.
Peter, how do I get off food? How do I get off that addiction?
Well, you just do exercise. You gotta have a new addiction.
So I focus on
I can help you with
masturbating
that,
as a new hobby, or
Rock, I've dropped 100 pounds, buddy.
I know.
You need to follow
fucking
Cliff,
jealous.
man.
What was that? Keto diet? Try that. Let's see if that works out.
I do intermittent fasting. It's working out.
That's good. It's very good.
He also consumes next to no calories, so that helps.
All right. So moving along, how about Badass? What about you as far as collecting throughout the years? Do you how has your collecting journey been?
It's been up and down, I'll be honest with you. When I started collecting, I was a young kid. Like most of my G.I. Joe collection I kept from when I was a young child. And then through the years, I always collected. I always did. And then when we had that drought in between 96 and 2000, there was nothing to collect. And then everything started coming out again. All the Star Wars, the G.I. Joe, Transformers relaunched, all that stuff. And then I was back in, and if not deeper than before. My collection evolved from having loose figures, and I got tired of having every single G.I. Joe figure that was loose. I needed every single G.I. Joe figure that was carded. I had loose vehicles. I needed every vehicle in box. Then when that got done, then I needed to take it further. Well, now I need all the exclusive stuff for G.I. Joe. I need all the sub-brands of G.I. Joe, like Night Force and Tiger Force, all that stuff. It got to the point where I had so much G.I. Joe stuff, I had doubles of stuff. I was rebuying stuff I didn't even know I already had. Then it got into, I almost started doing bucks and test shots and stuff because I just needed to keep going with G.I. Joe. I needed every element of it.
Was this because you were highly active in certain toy groups that knew you?
Well, yeah, absolutely.
And you had to kind of live up to the peer pressure of other collectors, because there's always going to be someone who has more than
locally.
you,
I was definitely in a lot of toy groups around here, and again, my collection of G.I. Joe was second to none anywhere. And then it turned into, well, remember that guy Rambo figure I had back when I was 8 years old? I need to collect that entire line again. Remember when I had that mask car? I need the entire line. So then I just kept buying and buying and buying and buying. And then again, same thing with what happened with Rock. I had to move. And then I had to move. It took me, when I left my ex-wife, it took 6 full-size trucks 6 times to move all my collection from one place to another.
Maximum Overdrive trucks, or?
Yeah, pretty much. You might as well have had that. I remember storing it when I moved into the place I'm in now, which is very small. I remember stuffing the room that I'm in right now, front to back, floor to ceiling, with boxes of stuff. Closed the door for 2 weeks because I couldn't even be bothered to deal with it. Plus had a storage unit sitting on the outside of my place that still had more stuff in it.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess, do you know why? Do you know what triggered you to continue to collect that at that massive volume? Even though you had,
I was mild all the way through, and then when my father passed away, that elevated me to the next level.
Gotcha.
And I had to have everything, to the point where I had storage units full of shit. I had, again, 160 totes full of shit. And then I was on anxiety medication for the longest time. I came off that stuff, and everything just kind of seemed to clear up for me and make sense. And then I started selling one thing, which turned into 2 things, which turned into 10 things, which turned into 20 things, much like Rock, where you're like, what the fuck am I doing with all this?
Right.
And then I started seeing the money.
Exactly. You start seeing the money, you start getting into a role of, hey, this is not as hard as it looks. And,
yeah. And it didn't get, the first little bit was painful because you have that attachment to it. You fought for it. You found it. You owned it. And then you just start dropping stuff off, and it's like losing weight, just pound after pound after pound after pound. And then, suddenly things free up. And then, you know what? I'm buying muscle cars. I'm building cars. I have liquid cash whenever I need it.
Right.
So, and then again, I end up talking to Jason again. He talks to me into coming back on the show, and then I'm fucking collecting again. What the fuck?
But you're collecting. Okay, so let's look at that. So, what is the? Do you feel that it really it's because of the show, or it's because of the group, or
no? I miss the toy community. It was I miss being in that group.
Okay.
So coming back in, talking to you guys, being back on the show has definitely brought my love for toys back. Because at one point I resented it. I hated it because you get so stressed out when you have so much stuff. I can only imagine what Rock was going through when he was moving his stuff. Like, it had to be mentally breaking you.
That's exactly what you're talking about. Exactly how I feel now. And a lot
and you have a resentment for the hobby.
That's exactly where I am. That's exactly where I'm at right now. And it's also not with all collectors, but there's just a huge segment of this population of collectors that makes me just not even want to be a part of it anymore.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
Just, and that's probably killing me. That's killing me more than anything. And I don't even collect modern. I think it's even worse for people that are out there hunting every day, because I feel their pain and struggles.
The entitlement is unreal.
Oh, it's brutal out there. Brutal. And then 2020 hits, and then suddenly, like, G.I. Joe Classified comes out, G.I. Joe Retro comes out, He-Man comes out of fucking nowhere, and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm back in. I'm in. Take my money. I'm in.
So, like what's happened to me on numerous occasions, like even just this Saturday with seeing the real Ghostbusters again. Now, I originally pre-ordered those, way back in 2020 when, I got my Walmart pre-orders in. I was all excited, and then they never shipped, and then I ended up finding them in the stores, and then I bought them, and then I ended up returning them, and then just this last week, I saw Fearsome Flush and what was the monster guy, the eyeball thing. But there's 2 new figures that are out, and along with that, they had a whole like two full waves of, or 2 full sets of minty, like really really minty, real Ghostbusters figures. So I sat there, and I took out the best cards and organized them all on the shelf. And I'm like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to buy everything all at once, and I'll have them all mint. And these were the ones that said on the card, it said, I ain't afraid of no ghosts. So those are the harder ones, well, quote unquote, harder ones to get. Because I guess they didn't have the license to actually have that on the card. So, there's 2 different variants. So I had them all there, and I had them all lined up, and I was ready to do it. And I'm just like, okay, so what is this going to do for me? Like, where am I? Like, I started thinking, where am I going to put this stuff? What this is, it's $100 to, I'm blowing $100, and then where is this going to take me? Does this mean that I'm going to, because I have this mental problem of wanting to complete collections, am I going to be stuck buying all the, however long the line is going to be around? There's a fair amount of real Ghostbusters figures, so I stopped and I put everything back. I just put everything back and I walked away. And so I don't know, it's been a struggle for me, but what you're explaining, getting back into the Motu, you just have to, like I said, at least for me, you kind of you stand there, you look at the figures, you make a decision on which ones to get.
Like 3 times when I first saw it before I was like, okay, I'm committing, I'm buying.
Yeah.
But the funny story is about the Star Wars and the vintage shit. I've collected vintage Star Wars twice over in my collecting times. I had a full run of like Star Wars, Empires, Return of the Jedi figures off Star Wars, sold it all off. And then the whatever movie came out, I can't remember which one re-kicked that for me. Now I recollected all over again and then sold it off again. So I went through vintage Star Wars twice already.
Do you want to go through the third?
No, I'm out. I'm out for Star Wars.
All right. Well,
and again, vintage Transformers. I had numerous like in-box Transformers, because that's at my level I was collecting in-box everything, on-card, right. In-box. That's how I collected.
And that is something that's a trigger word right there at your level. So yeah. Let's talk about that. So this is something that is a real thing. So whenever you start out a collection, you may not have the funds to purchase in-box or on-card items.
Yeah.
And you still wanna collect. You still wanna collect because your heart is saying, okay, I had these as a kid. I'd like to get these. And so you can, whatever you can afford, you try to buy the best representation. And if they're, there's no reissues at the time and you try to do a vintage line, you're going to do open box figures. Yeah. And then you go down the rabbit hole of buying a Transformer that doesn't have the accessories. So then you buy it and you're like, okay, well, this is cool. But now, and then you start hunting the accessories. And by the time you go down that path, you already spent a lot of money. And then you find a relatively decent deal on a box of the same figure. And you end up purchasing that boxed figure. And then you end up selling the loose figure. And it's just this huge cycle. But that is something that I know I personally done. And it's interesting when you get to these different levels in collecting, and eventually, just like you said, you get into this, you move away from loose figures, and now you're doing all vintage box, and then you're going up to the next level which is the AFA graded. That's what Rock
Yeah,
got into.
yeah.
So it's a constant thing. And for me, I just have to make a decision to be like, you know what, I'm just totally done, you know? So, what about you? What about you, Rock? I mean, you've gone through a whole bunch of changes.
Well, it started out when I was collecting the Star Wars Power of the Force when those were coming out, and then I dropped off. Then when G.I. Joe 25th came, I started collecting. Then my son was born, and I started buying like 2 to 3 of every one of those figures that came out. You know, one to open, one to keep carded, and then an extra one, and then that ended up being my son's collection. Then when he was growing up, I started going, you know, ape shit, buying Star Wars, vintage and modern. Same thing with G.I. Joe, plus my vintage toys that I had. And then my one Father's Day, my wife gave me like $125, and I bought my first carded G.I. Joe. I bought Zartan mint in box for $125, which is like crazy to think about now.
That is fucking cheap.
125 sealed. It's probably like $1,000 or more right now. And I started buying like my first Star Wars figure mint on card. I bought Bib Fortuna for $30. You know, and
yeah, I remember you could buy vintage guys for like nothing, like $20 fucking like R2s and fucking 3POs and shit.
My first single carded G.I. Joe was Crystal Ball. I paid $25 for him. And this is a minty figure, $25.
And he's a better character than Snake Eyes.
But you know, it just started evolving, and then I started like I figured, let me start to buy whatever is like a retro packaging. And as I started getting into, I had the other Star Wars figures that were, they came in like a clamshell. So they had like a retro card back, but it was a modern figure. And then I got to a point where I'm like, let me start upgrading and getting into vintage. And then I wholesaled all that stuff off to buy vintage. And then I'm strictly vintage and like retro, like the Ghostbusters and the Transformers. But it's just, like I said, I'm at a point now, I'm very, very happy with all the vintage I have. I'm just not looking to really add any more right now. I'm going to keep a majority of like everything's on display. I'm just getting rid of the stuff I'm not displaying. And like you said, I mean, I had that wad of fucking cash. I put, I think $5,000 or $6,000 in my checking account. I've also used money to pay for other things around the house so far. And the last 2 weeks, I've sold $1,000 each. Last 2 weeks, and I still have tons of shit to sell. So in the last 3 months, I've sold $8,000 or $9,000 worth of toys and sports cards.
It took me 3 years to whittle my collection down. 3 years, and that's selling every month.
What I've been doing is I'll dedicate like an hour or two on Friday night, an hour on Saturday or Sunday. So like right now, I have 60 something items up on eBay. And then as they sell, then I'll put a few more up. And that's my goal, is to kind of just, like you said, just whittle it down. And, you know, as stuff sells, put more stuff up.
Yeah, and the thing about eBay, the good thing about that, Rock, is basically, you know, having a variety selection, because, you know, you're going to get that person that is searching for one figure, but then when they find your auction at a good price, and they look at the rest of your figures, that might trigger them to purchase other figures from different toy lines. So it is just a pro tip if you're doing eBay thing. It's always good to have a variety of items from, you know, different toy lines at this, you know, listed at the same time.
And, you know, being on the show, I got to admit, it definitely made me buy way more stuff, because I always wanted to show something cool. But then I would hunt every night on eBay, and I would just value buy. I would buy things I wasn't even really into because it was such a good deal. Like, I'm going to show you one. I bought this Ted DiBiase autographed Hasbro figure, right? I paid $41 for this 2 years ago. I have this up on eBay right now for $3.99.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, I my local CradleCon, I bought a bunch of Hasbro figures. I bought a Ric Flair figure for $30. It was sun damaged. I sold it for $157 the other day. If it wasn't sun damaged, I would have got $250. but I'm getting 5 times what I paid for it. So even after fees, I got 4.5. But I did a lot of value buying, and it's really paying off now. And plus, now that I'm selling off the G.I. Joe 25th, I paid retail for all those. And the most I paid for any of them was $8.99 because I saw some drugstores that said friendly drugs by me, $8.99. So that's where I'm really turning a lot of purchases into big time profits for me. And it's like, will my life go on if I still have this figure or not? Yeah, it goes on. $400? Fuck, that's my Mercedes payment's $438 a month. It's a month's fucking car payment for a figure. Fuck it. You know what I mean? Like, would I rather have this or not pay my car note next month?
Right, but Rock, why do you collect? You know, I mean, or why did you
stuff
collect?
That made me happy. I love Star Wars and G.I. Joe growing up. I still I'm looking at all my Miron cards, like all the high end stuff on the other end of the room. I love seeing it, but like I said, do I really need Arctic Gear Snake Eyes and 25th G.I. Joe mint on card? No.
Absolutely, it's one of the best figures in the line.
Fucking brutal.
I'll send it to you.
Snake Eyes.
Listen, it's Arctic. Anything Arctic and snow. That's why I really feel Slick needs to just truly focus on Arctic or snow figures.
And the best figure of the line, Slick, is Matt Tracker.
I agree.
No,
Matt Tracker.
No,
yeah.
man.
And Matt Tracker's on my eBay store right now for $54.99 if you want to get it.
I saw
it.
Dude, I have like 5 of them. I have like 2 mint on card. I have one I made more show accurate. I got one loose sitting right there.
I got both versions.
Yeah, me too. They're both right there.
Yeah.
And not just carded figures. I have Rubbermaid totes that are so damn heavy you could barely carry them. And they have hundreds upon hundreds and hundreds of loose figures. And my wife said, "What about those?" I said, "I'm having shoulder surgery. I'm going to be out of work for like 3 months this winter. So my goal is to have my mint on card shit sold by the fall, and then in the winter, I'm literally going to like start piecing them together. Because you know how hard it is.
Yojo.com.
Yeah, this guy came with a knife, and this guy came with a pistol. This guy came with a silencer.
Yeah.
I'm going to need a fucking spreadsheet. You know, it's 8 miles long to figure everything out. So that's the goal. It's just, and I said, it's not that I need the money. I just made a ton of money on my house. I'm doing well financially. I work 55 to 57 hours a week. I got plenty of overtime. It's not that I need the money, but I don't want to miss this window right now where the market is so hot. And I don't want to be like, oh, fuck, I should have sold that when it was at that price. So I think it's just a good time for me to
can I ask you something, Rock? So if you don't need the money, why cash out? You don't need the money.
Because I'm honestly afraid that this post-COVID, when the world becomes back to normal, which I really think in like another month, it's going to be like it didn't happen. I think people are going to, once they can start doing things again, I think this collecting bubble is going to burst. Everybody's been saying in the Star Wars collecting community for years now, the prices can't get higher. It can't get higher. It's going to burst. I think it's going to burst.
The burst is because of the reissues. Tons of VC reissues.
Yeah, but I mean vintage. I'm talking about like, just the price. Like, how much higher can these prices go on these toys?
If Star Wars doesn't make a movie in 5 to 6 years, all the vintage shit will crash back into the ground. As soon as they put a movie back up or win that they're going to make another one, it all skyrockets back up again.
Yeah.
Well, Star Wars is a little bit different right now because there's a lot of stuff that Disney Plus is, putting out there, a lot of content. So it really catches everyone's attention at this point. So they, not necessarily having an actual movie, but just having so many different spin-offs of different Star Wars content kind of keeps that alive.
Yeah, I know.
That's true.
The Star Wars stuff I saw, 50% Mandalorian. 50%. I mean, picture that.
Even I bought a Mandalorian.
Boy.
Exactly.
So what about you, AAA? You're very interesting in your collecting. I know you're definitely into very high end models and all different kinds of stuff. So how about So how about your collecting?
So if anybody, I'm like super sick. So, but I was just googling this. I was like, why are you a toy collector? It's just something crazy. I was like, 4 easy questions to ask yourself when you're starting a toy collection. Huh? Okay, it is hard to know where to source your toy, which toy to buy first, and what is the smart purchase. Here are a few things to analyze on each toy purchase. 1, is this toy open-ended? Huh? What? Can I use this toy in a play-based educative way? Wait, where is this leading at? How can we expand vocabulary with these toys? Huh? Is this toy designed to be fine or gross on motor skill? Okay, what is this about? This is about toys for kids. Oh, great. I was looking for questions about this, and then all of a sudden I ran into this. It's all buying. Oh, okay. So toys for kids. This is all what it comes down to. If you talk to anybody, you talk about toys. Back in those days, of course, it's like taboo. It's like, you're buying toys. This is automatically go to this because it's for learning purposes.
Well,
for kids, right?
I'm not talking about just toys. I'm just talking about collecting in general because you and I don't just collect toys. We collect, statues. Those are not toys. High-end Macross models they're not toys.
Yeah, unfortunately, back in where I'm from Hong Kong, is the word. There's no different names for it. It all comes down to one Chinese word. It says toys.
Okay.
There's no different words for these kind of things, and it's just you feel shame. But today, modern time, everybody's doing it, right? So you see different shows in Cantonese, Japanese. Like, it didn't matter. They're all adult running these shows, and it's no longer a taboo thing, and it's becoming more popular. And even like toy companies now, they're like, oh, we used to make toys for kids. Like, they're direct market that's for kids. Like, oh, we got to make sure safety and all that bullshit. So, but now, no. You see how many these collectors are buying? They're targeting us literally now. I mean, sure, they'll still make like the G.I. Joe Kids line, but let's be serious. They're only making it so that the line can continue to survive for the next generation, so that these kids grow up and buy more G.I. Joe stuff. Okay, but really, they're making money off of us who's buying.
But what about you? So, but what about you personally, as far as collecting?
For what I'm trying to get to is that I think for me, my goal is to ultimately have fun with it. And it's like, it seems like a rewarding thing for me, because like it feels like a little bit like what Jason have said, like it makes you feel like a kid, like a nostalgic factor. It's kind of like, it helps you celebrate the love for these particular franchises that you grew up with. I feel like it helps me creatively to do things like that. I can. It's like I used to love art and do all this. I create my own things, doing my own character and things like that. And as an adult, I'm no longer doing that. But I'm just taking properties that's already existed, but then trying to create arts with it. So Jason, I was thinking, you like art too, and you grew up with, doing art stuff, even with spray, your graffiti art and all that. Why not think of something creative with your stuff? You can buy, you usually buy the open one to keep in card. I don't know if you do that, but you can take one and like do your own like rendition. Just, what I do, I collect is to like, I like to do arts with it. So you see a whole bunch of pictures I created with the AAA channels. Like I do some photography, and then I want to do something cool with it. I want to think of some kind of ideas with these toys, but my limited time is so small. So it's like, because these projects takes like an entire day, I would need like a day off to put aside and make these artwork come alive. So so that, again, Jason, like if you can channel that art with, like, I don't know, like that would be a really nice. This is a nice medium. Like you can take one of these Motu thing and like paint it differently or something. It's kind of like I like to do that. Like I think Joe Ryan does that a lot. He does this customizing, and it's like it's really cool every time I see him do. He does his thing, his art. And anybody who has a art talent or inclined to create something, I applaud those people. Go at it. This is all this franchise, all this cartoon, movie, all these things that people created. You can take this and you're not going to make money with it. Obviously, it's copyright rule. You just put a spin to it, or if you like taking photography, do what I do, just mix these characters together or do something funny with it. I think it's really cool because I like to check out the Facebook groups. A lot of people very talented, and they just create these amazing images. I love getting inspired from it. And every time I see something so cool, it's like, oh yeah, next week I'm going to do this. I'm going to have this other idea, and run with it. So
yeah, so you're very, and I think so. Just like I said, just knowing everyone, throughout the years. I mean, Cliff, I haven't known you too long, but I think I've gotten to know you a little bit. So I would say that at this point, Peter, Cliff, and Jason definitely, you guys all like to play with your toys. I mean, you're not just keeping them on card. You're literally opening them up, and you're playing with them. Peter, you're doing customizations and, really cool stuff. And yeah, your photography is amazing. Like I see how much effort you're putting into that.
Thank you. So basically I never see toys as a portfolio investment. I don't see it. I just don't.
You're wrong,
ever.
Peter.
Yeah. I don't know. I have a stock portfolio and I have cryptocurrency. That's my money making thing. Toys is what I enjoy doing. I want this is art stuff for me. So and also the other fact is I hate selling. My God, these collectors, they are freaking annoying, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I will never treat selling as it's enjoyable. No, it just sucks, literally. And the fees, it's ridiculous. I rather just give you the toy. My God.
But
the thing is, I'll get to this.
Okay.
But the thing is, I had to do it because I want to buy new toys. It's a means to an end so I can attain new things. That's the problem. That's the problem. Yes, my job pays the bill for rent, car, insurance, phone bill, light, all that stuff. I cannot afford to use my my paycheck to buy these toys. No way. I mean, something has to go in order to fund something else. That's it. And I'm not doing it so I can get thousands of dollars off it. No. Just let me buy this next G.I. Joe toy. Here, I'll give you this. Give me $20 for this. Something like that. So that's how I'm getting by. So, and here's the thing. It's I never thought I was going to buy the Motu Origin line. I got Filmation. I got Filmation is Super 7. I got Classic, which I paid $2,000 for almost, literally, because I missed the boat. I got 2000X. I got Loyal Subject. Why am I buying Origins? I mean, I'm not a focused character collector. Okay. Why am I doing this? Because I can't buy the vintage stuff, right? Because they're very expensive. Plus, there's no fun. I owned those things when I was a kid. What am I doing with those? 5 POA? Bleh, junk. So
check your tone. Those figures were amazing.
Yeah.
But that's me, how I envision it. So then I'm I saw this sled that was on clearance for $10. I mean, $10? How can I resist? So I bought this sled, open it up, and go, whoa, this thing got more than 15 points of articulation, and it looks vintage? Oh, man, what did I just do? I'm all in. No, I'm not all in. I'm going to cherry pick some, but... So I'm starting another line now, Origins, and it's just, oh, man. So that's a problem. Yeah, that's a problem. And you guys just were mentioning about how Mando is really popular, and that's a big thing. That's a huge thing for Star Wars, and people are buying Mandalorian everything. For me, well, I bought the Razor Crest, and I think I would not buy the Mando Black Series. No, I just there's no vehicle. I got the Razor Crest. Oh, so what I need is figures for that. my vehicle. So I decided no Black Series 6-inch Mando because it won't be able to ride it anyway. And what are you gonna do? Just stand here. So my focus is for this vehicle are just the little 3 3/4 inch Mando figures, and I'll cherry pick some of them that get to ride the ship. So that's how I can cut down on this whole Mando situation because it's too much. You know how many characters is constantly pumping. You know, and the next portfolio lineup, the pile line. I was like, oh my god, these are all Mando's characters except for what was that guy? Jabba the Hutt sidekick. What's his name? Tuna Boba. Yeah, that's it. So besides him, I was like, oh, that's awesome because all I need is Biff. I don't need all these guys because it's a rabbit hole. It just keeps digging yourself in, and I'm so glad I'm not getting any Mando 6-inch because look at all these characters they're coming out with. So, and then I just got rid of my Rogue One figures like three weeks ago, and they're bringing Rogue One back, and I was like with digital face prints. I was like, oh, you know, I really love
It's an easy pass for everybody except for Cliff.
Well, no, wait. See, look, I really like the actress for June Erso, right? Is that her name?
Okay.
June, right? Yeah. I don't know her name, but gosh. Anyway, she's a beautiful girl, and I've been waiting for a digital print of her. But if I buy her, I gotta buy the rest of them. So then you know what?
No, you don't.
Yeah.
No.
Right.
That's
so
the
I have to.
whole point,
Right. You don't need to be a completist. Okay. So I was thinking, maybe on clearance I'll buy just her and maybe Chewit and Baze. I don't know. But anyway, I don't have any plans yet. But all I know is it's just gonna sit on my shelf like last time. That space that I cleared out. Then I'm gonna if I buy them, they're gonna go that space again, or it goes into storage. All right, let's just hold back. Let's not get this. You got rid of them. You're gonna try to get rid of them again. It's gonna be rough. So I was like, okay. So I'll talk myself out of it for now, unless they go on clearance. Who knows? So yeah, go ahead, Lotus. If you have some more questions, I don't know why I'm ramping.
No. I mean, no, that's
yeah,
good.
no, please.
I mean,
I like your questions.
No, I mean, you're definitely, like I said, you're out of all of us. You know, you definitely actually play with your toys, and you use your toys to build different dioramas, and make some really awesome photography with them. Playing with photography essentially. Mm-hmm. So I mean, it's like you said, it's an art form. I don't know. For me, honestly, I don't know why I've collected what I've collected throughout the years. I've tried to analyze why I did what I did. I mean, I've always been a Transformers collector, but for me, I just have this problem of literally needing to have complete waves of everything. It's very important for me to finish the collection. And, I look back at, I look back at it all, with starting with Transformers and just buying the retail Transformers, like the Classics line, and then when Masterpiece came out, buying, MP01 and, just starting the Masterpiece line. And then Masterpiece changed into, a different format. And then I bought those because, it was still, I had to just keep on going, even though the numbers were out of order, which really, really bothers me. It's definitely something that I just continued with.
Why do you have to be a completist?
I think it's OCD? I think there's something wrong with me. Like, I think I have a problem.
Wrong with all of us who do this?
I think it's an OCD
I think there's a mental problem. Yeah. I think there's something wrong, like, in the brain that makes you
a satisfaction, right? Once you have everything in order, A, B, C, D, E, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once you got it all, you're satisfied, and then you move on to the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, and I think I realized that when I you know, I've got a video online of one of my collection rooms, and I say one of my collection rooms because that's kind of where I was at, is just having a lot of rooms just filled with toys, just thumbtacks on the wall, and I didn't play with anything. That's the truth. I just kept everything sealed. It was gratification. You talk about art. I looked at Transformers as an art form where I really like the packaging. I love seeing the figures just trying to recreate, in my mind, just being in a toy store all the time, and that was.
I just want to interrupt you just real quick. I just opened 3 of my Origin figures out of the clamshell packaging. I kept the clamshell on it, so I taped these packages on the wall, empty.
Yeah, but they look cool, right? I mean, it's art
without the figure, though.
Yeah, but it's still art because I mean, obviously those packages, they don't really change much. They just have the same card art, pretty much, with the exception of the name of the figure. But just like you said, I mean, it's just so for me, I just was never into playing or anything. I didn't play with anything. I didn't transform any of the Transformers. And then I got into this whole thing, at the same time I got into Hot Toys, and I started getting into that's where I stepped up into this like higher end of collecting. And I was collecting those diamond, what do they call them? Marvel Legend diamonds. Diamond Select. Diamond Select. I was doing Diamond Select. I had walls of Diamond Select. Just walls of them. I thought they were the coolest thing. I didn't do anything with them. I never took them out of the package, but the packaging and the figures were so dynamic, and the physical weight. I don't know if you guys
like 2 pounds.
They're like 2 pounds a piece.
Yeah,
they're huge packages. They're visually there. They're physically heavy, and that mental trigger of having something heavy means that it's better. I don't know, and then I went from Diamond Select into Hot Toys, and then I'm like, oh wow, this is something else. I can have I can have a miniature figure of someone, a real actor with, this and that. And then I got into the whole, I started with the Iron Man, and then I got into the clothed figure. Cause I was a little bit, Jason, I'll be honest with you, when I started, I was a little bit with you on that, where it was kind of weird, figure, having a doll, I was a little bit weirded out by having that. I didn't start out with the clothes, the actors or whatever. I started out with just the Iron Men because they were just plastic figures at the time. There was no die cast back then. And they did have a face sculpt, so it did have an actor likeness, but it was still a plastic figure, and it kind of looked like a robot, and I thought that was really cool. So that's what I did, and I just started collecting all the Iron Men, But then I ended up getting some other characters, like Obadiah Stane and stuff like that, where, it was part of Iron Man, but it was, it was actual clothing. And then I bought a Hot Toys True Type body, and I was buying suits and then different head sculpts. And I was building that's the closest I've done to customization, is just buying 1/6 scale suits and face sculpts, and basically building these, little 1/6 characters, but yeah, I went through that whole phase of that. And then I went from that into statues. I don't even know why I did it. I think I look back at this, and I'm just like, why did I go through all this money, just wasting all this money? Because I really didn't have any attachment to any of this stuff. That's the truth. I mean, even with statues, it was like I was buying comic-based statues, and I was just like, I'm like, oh wow, this is really cool. It's a very large piece of art. I looked at it as, once again, it's a piece of art. I can put it on display and have really good lighting. I've always been about the shelves and the presence and the display of all this stuff. And yeah, I was, by the time I left statue collecting, I ended with that Hulkbuster statue, which was, over $3,000, and it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And then I don't know. So I guess what I'm trying to say, guys, is I went through this whole journey of collecting, and what's left in my collection is the world's smallest Transformers. That's all I have, is just the world's smallest. And I've got that whole complete collection, except for that stupid blue Grimlock, which I still don't have, and I'm still searching for that. It's my only saved
and your
search.
Giga Power.
I do have my Giga Power collection still. I have not sold. I have been tempted to sell.
Don't.
I have been tempted. I'm looking at them right now. I do have those. And then my other collection that I have is the G.I. Joe collection. I really love that 25th card art, so I can't ever see selling that. And I do have my Takara book style Dreamwave collection. Those were the reissues back in 2002, I think they started. So I have number 00 all the way to, I think it was 21 is what they ended up with. Those I've removed them out of the box, and those are all on display. So I basically have a minty set of G1 Transformers on display. And then I have my GoBots collection, which will never leave.
Your collection.
I consider it to be, I don't know anyone else. I've looked through groups and stuff. I don't know anyone else who has actually opened up a vintage set of GoBots from number 1 through 72. So I'm very proud of that. And, flex.
Have you ever thought about maybe getting them graded loose to protect them? This way, because
No,
how
I opened
minty
them.
they are since you opened them.
I opened them.
No, I know, but grading them for the future.
No, I mean, I don't. I've just with my YouTube video, I've been offered a lot of money for just to buy that collection. I have no, because I don't need the money. It's a very unique collection. I don't think I would ever go through that again, because there's definitely some of those figures towards the end cost me hundreds of dollars to buy on eBay, to pay those scalper prices just to complete that set. So, some of the figures I got at really cheap prices, but there was definitely a lot of them that I had to pay the piper for them. So, but I'm very proud of that collection. It's a wonderful collection. It's still on the same display, and it's so important, guys, to display this stuff. It makes it feel so much better to have this stuff on display. It really does. And when Toys, and the other thing that I did when Toys R Us was going out of business is I bought Jeffrey. So I have two Jeffreys. I have the 2004 Jeffrey, and I have the 2006 and current Jeffrey. Those are full walk around costumes.
Wow.
Oh,
This is the
wow.
first I've ever heard of this.
Yeah, they're the actual.
You're just like, here's my life story and my
Yeah.
drop. I have two Jeffrey.
And you
costumes.
keep
Take
flexing.
notice. What did that cost? Did you go to an auction, or were the stores
When-
actually selling them?
When Toys R Us was liquidating, I just started looking around, and none of my stores were. They said that they weren't allowed to sell them, but they were popping up on eBay, and I ended up buying both the costumes. One costume was totally brand new, so I actually have the shipper box for the actual Jeffrey costume, and that's the newer version one. And then the one from 2004, which was actually designed by Stan Winston. Toys R Us went through a rebranding where they actually took the cartoon look of Jeffrey and they made him into a real giraffe in 2004. And they rebranded, so all the 2004 Toys R Us commercials are actually using a real giraffe. And so I have that Jeffrey as well, where it's a real looking giraffe with glass eyes.
Did you put it on a mannequin or anything, or is it just? Like in
I
the
constructed.
box?
I basically built a structure out of PVC pipe.
Oh, okay.
So I have them actually on display. I'm actually looking at them right now. They're waving at me.
I would love to see
God
pictures
damn
of
it!
those.
Turn on your fucking video, you son of a bitch.
No. Cybertron does not have reception to do that.
Will you post a picture of those in the group though?
I don't know. Maybe.
Oh,
Come
my
on,
God,
man.
get out of here. All right. So let's kind of
What?
recap of what
He's on
we've-
Cybertron.
what?
Oh,
Am I breaking up?
now you're better now.
Really, the one time I want to talk, I start breaking up. So, kind of a recap of how we've gotten from there to here. Yeah, I mean, like I say, the prices of things have just gotten insane. Rock touched a lot on trying to collect modern, like trying to collect retail, as I term it, has gotten insane. I mean, fist fights. Places not selling sports cards. My Walmart now has all their Pokemon Magic and sports cards locked up at the customer service desk.
So
And
what
you can
happened
only
with that?
buy-
What's the deal with Pokemon cards in Walmart?
They've gone berserk right now in value.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's,
I
just
think
like
this all
everything
happened when
else, right?
Logan Paul, I think he paid $150,000 for a Charizard. That was what I heard.
I've been hearing my son say that since he's like 3 years old. Daddy, if I get the Prism Charizard, I could be a millionaire.
So
It's a
we've
Prism
talked about it.
Charizard.
So Peter, I think it was Peter talked about how, so looking at my buying history for the last year is, again, just primarily focusing on retail. I have literally bought twice as much stuff, and I cherry pick and all the, so I think AAA was saying, they are targeting us now. We are now the market for toys. It's not kids. I see more adult men in the toy aisles than I see kids, hands down. It's crazy. So yeah, is there a bubble? Is this it? Like, are all these fucking speculators going to jack things up so high that everybody just tries to get out? And when everybody tries to get out, that fucking flatlines prices and no one goes back.
I don't know if there's going to be, Jason, I don't know if there's going to be a bubble, because all you hear online is, I missed out. The pre-order sold out in like seconds, or pre-order sold out in minutes. That's it. It's constantly like this.
How many people have you heard that say, I'm just not going to collect classified because of that exact reason?
Yeah, but that's true. But,
and how many people are spending tons of money in action figures right now because they haven't taken a $10,000 vacation to the islands, or they didn't take their family to Hawaii, or they didn't go to Disney World, or they haven't spent money on things like that they would have because they can't travel. They haven't gone and do vacation. That's what I hear a lot about. People have spent that vacation money on collectibles.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of chatter about that.
Are they spending on the secondary market price, or are they just buying retail price in general? Like they're
both,
just collecting.
Like even like people saying, I haven't gone to concerts, I haven't gone to sports games, I haven't gone on a road trip because I would go to, say, I'd go to Chicago to see a Bears game with my buddies. Like I haven't gone to Comic-Cons. Like you know how many Comic-Cons I've not gone to in a year and a half? If you take out all that money I haven't spent on hotels and this and that and the other thing, if I've been spending it buying shit on eBay, that's the money I feel that's fueling all this market.
Yeah, but let's just be fair. I mean, it's been a year and a half or more months about COVID, and people got that stimulus check too, and people are not going out, and online business is booming, and that's all people are doing is shopping and shopping and shopping.
Yeah.
And there's just no places to go for now. I mean, now people are leaving their home, booking plane flights. My friend's going to Alaska. So there's a concerts are opening like past month.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, I think COVID. I mean, so I know COVID is over, and I can tell you for a fact why I know this. is because while I was
never
at
started, right, Lotus?
well, it probably never started. But besides that, the reason why I know for a fact it's over is because when I was at Walmart this weekend, the bin of face masks was on clearance for $1.
Whoa.
Yes.
$1.
My entire clearance
Dang.
If
section
Wal-
is
now Wal-
hand sanitizer and masks. Sorry.
Yeah. So right. So if we know Walmart knows data and we know that they know analytics, so they understand that there has been a decline in face masks being sold, and so now face masks are $1, and most likely they will be not sold, and that's it. So it's over. COVID's over.
Do you know how I know COVID is over? You can find Lysol wipes again by the pallet.
Yeah.
Lysol wipes were like gold back in the day.
Yeah. Okay.
There's Cliff
Well,
showing it off.
so where are we at this point? I mean, we know that collecting bubble, there could be a bubble, maybe not. Maybe the bubble is only for, like Rock said, maybe it's only for vintage. Maybe there is a bubble for these vintage figures, and eventually people are going to wise up and be like, you know what, I'm just not going to compete with paying these prices, and that's it. But yeah, maybe for retail, maybe there is no bubble. Maybe there's just no end to this. That's why for me personally, I returned that Fortress Maximus to stop my collecting habit in 2017 or whenever that was, where that Fortress Maximus that I got for $43 at Ross, I returned it. I got my $43 back, and that was a harsh enough hit to me because I know that I would never get Fortress Maximus again in the Titan class for $43. So that's it, and that ended my retail. I had to do something drastic to trick my mind into breaking that cycle, and then I did that huge purge of just taking a lot of my figures to that sports card shop, that comic shop, and just dumping them all. It was so. I didn't walk out with a lot of money, guys, but I really felt great when I left there. I mean, I filled my car with all this stuff, and they were all mint condition, all those Generations figures, the whole line, all numbered. I had them all lined up for the guy. The guy's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm putting them in order for you." He's like, "I don't care about that." I'm like, "Listen, I want to show you that I have curated this collection." And he was honest with me. He's like, "Listen, it doesn't matter to us that you're bringing us a whole numbered collection. There was a Thrilling 30 where they're all in order." He's like, "It doesn't matter to us. It doesn't matter." I'm like, "Well, listen, just humor me. I just want to put him one last time on your damn counter in order." So
your OCD kicked in again.
That Fortress Maximus is between $350 and $400 on eBay right now.
Yeah, well, but this was 2000. This was when they were being sold at Ross for the $40.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm saying it's a good investment. That's what I'm saying. Like it's gone up a 10 times.
Right, but what that allowed me to do is that allowed me to stop buying the retail figures, and that's it. So,
well, so just because I teased it, let's end on what we were talking about 10 years ago, what prices were 10 years ago, and then. Unfortunately, I kind of peaked, and I'm like, yeah, a lot of this stuff goes for a lot of money. So, if you have it, let me share my screen, and hopefully this isn't gonna fuck.
I'm really curious to see this.
Yeah. All right. So I want to share screen. Sorry, everybody. Like talking to myself. A Chrome tab. There we go. One. So this would have been episode 54 of Open Your Toys Cast. This was the closest I could find. So this was Con News was BotCon 2011. And sorry, can you see that? Oh, it did. Oh, it did share. Okay. Let me blow that shit up. Sorry. Usually working with a couple monitors, so it's a little bit easier. There we go. So talking about BotCon, PowerCon, that would have been the very first PowerCon back then.
This is what year is this? 2011.
Yeah. So this is, I think it was June like 1st, or no, this was June 19th. This episode came out, at least when I posted it. So we've got, that's what we were getting during that time. Dark of the Moon Air Raid and Vortex. Star Wars vehicles. Kmart was still in the picture.
Yeah. See, it's all sad. It's sad that we lost these stores.
And this is the first mention. It looks like maybe first mention of the big Millennium Falcon. That was the
wow.
First,
Python Patrol
huge
Crocmaster.
thing.
Wow, dude.
Yeah, so the canceled end of Pursuit of Cobra there. Creo
Megatron. Fun.
I love this right here. This is my favorite.
Yeah.
The fan-made projects fan-made projects category. There was no name back then for third party. Third party that did not exist. And I love how you always talked about this category as fan-made projects.
Yeah.
The Marauders,
yeah.
are those the Marauders, like the G.I. Joe style Marauder figures?
Yeah.
Well, yes. Yeah.
They were around that long ago?
Oh, yeah, dude. They were around forever, man. Because they started out doing weapons and stuff, so you could start modding.
I remember the
guys.
weapons. I ordered those, yeah.
And then they started going into accessories and figures, and
I can't believe they've been around that long.
So, okay, so you got the iGear MP Ironhide and Ratchet.
Yeah, that would have been
the KO Classic Cone Heads. Oh, those must have been the iGear ones as well. No, I don't know which ones. I don't know.
iGear. These were straight knockoffs because remember back then the Coneheads came in a BotCon exclusive pack, so they were super expensive, and then they started knocking them off. The crazy
Devi, that was huge. Yeah. That was like the first time that we saw, an add-on. That was like, maybe that's the first add-on kit. I don't know.
No, well, I mean, there's other like little one-offs. I mean, I think City Commander really kind of takes the cake, right?
No, I'm talking about like add-on. City Commander wasn't an add-on kit. That was an actual third-party toy, right?
Well, no, it was a trailer to the Classics Ultimate Magnus.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
That turned into his thing, but yeah, I mean. Jamie from he's from Down Under, so this is what he was seeing down there. So again,
the same Jamie that's in our group now.
Yeah.
Oh wow,
dude,
Jamie Dahl
down from Jamie
Dang.
Dahl. He was like #1 fan back in the day. He would constantly leave comments and stuff, so I'm glad he's still in the group.
Oh man, you had you're already talking about DPCIs.
Yep. Oh yeah, dude.
Scheming.
We've got Pursuit of Cobra Wave 5 was happening 10 years ago. Legends 3-pack. Oh, that would have been Star Wars Legends. Galactic Heroes. Pursuit of Cobra, Dark of the Moon.
I remember when that came out, the cycle, and it was released in Asia, and then it went to Canada before it ever went to the States.
Yeah.
The Ahsoka one?
Let's see if they
Ashiko, right?
Yeah, the Shiko cycle.
Oh yeah, I found that at Ross. I was like, what is that doing there? I was like, gosh, I gotta get this.
You know what, Jason? I feel like almost every episode, let's just spend like 5 minutes doing this. Because this, I think, would be really fun.
Go back and see the old shit.
Yeah, I think everybody. I mean, I love this right now. I mean, spend a few minutes just going, "Hey, one."
Yeah, because these episodes are so short, Rock, that we need to fill time.
I hear you, but I mean, this is. I find this really interesting.
MP10 Prime.
TF Source MP10 pre-order. Look at that.
MP10. What we got. This is when I was still like actually putting what I got on there.
Collector
Natty
Club
Gate.
dial tone. Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's a fucking $400 or $500 figure nowadays.
Which G1 Megatron reissue was that? I'm not. What was?
Let's take a look.
This
was something.
bought?
It was a Japanese,
Like an e-hobby?
Yeah, the e-hobby one.
Okay,
that
gotcha.
That was complete and all that. Oh yeah, of course. That.
What's the Ned? What are you looking at? That's Ned Flanders.
What was there something on that eBay on
Yeah.
suggestion? Oh, there is. I've been getting into Creature from the Black Lagoon. And there's
shit, Mage of Blood,
Creature from the
$750.
Black
That's a bargain.
Yeah. Well, in a completely torn hook too, because I looked at it. I was like, I think this. Oh no, this is something else. But anyways, let's see. So that was what we had going on there.
I used to do toy reviews. I remember that.
When we used to get listener feedback and questions.
Dude, I miss the days of getting the voice recording.
Yeah, exactly. And then let me share this too. Let me get back to the fucking shit. Share. Stop that screen share. Then let me share another screen share because I thought this was interesting too. So here is my toy budget tracking.
Oh shit.
For 2011. So what was I doing in June of 2011? Oh, I didn't spend very much money. This is 284. Oh, let me blow this up because it's probably hard to see. Hopefully. Sorry, everybody. I'm just going crazy here. So I implore everybody, we want to talk about sickness and what you're doing with all this. I want to implore everybody to keep track of their spending, even just for a year or 6 months even, keep track of your spending. I think you'd be kind of surprised. So 284 is one of my lowest months ever, by the way, buying toys. Trans-scanning Ironhide. Remember that. Oh, Legends Top Spin. So that would have been the little tiny figures. So look, these are $450. Deluxes, $10.99.
Yeah.
For the deluxe, and this is at True. For classics collectors, this was faceless one, $20 back then.
Yep.
For Matty stuff, dinosaur minicons, Warpath and Wheeljack. So these would have been deluxes, $11.75. Creo Optimus Prime, that must have been a later one. Leader Sentinel Prime from Dark of the Moon. So $45. We haven't changed much there, except for he's quite a bit bigger than everybody. The Cobra carded, Cobra Commander, Clone Wars 2-packs. So yeah,
Yep.
Let's see. July was quite a bit crazier. DCU Lantern series, Clone Wars Wave 7. So yeah, kind of crazy. I guess let's end on. So we've kind of heard Rox talked about what his future in collecting looks like. Peter didn't sound like he was changing. Badass, you sound like you're gonna start getting even crazier. Is that right? Or are you gonna start?
No, I gotta be fucking careful about that rabbit hole. I am dancing around it right now. Putting my foot back in, pulling it back out, put my foot back in, pulling it back out. I'm going to collect what I like right now. Like, the G.I. Joe stuff, I'm in for it. I heard they've already put out the statement saying they're going to bring back O-rings. I'll probably get back on that road, right? the Motu stuff, I'm in. I like it. It's a shame that I had all that shit originally, but yeah, you know. The Super 7 stuff, like I love the fact that they're reissuing the Turtles stuff and giving them tons of fucking articulation and shit now, so I'm backing on that. But as for like Transformers, I walk by it all the time and I see those fucking the Beast Wars shit and I'm just like, but I can't do it.
It's so good. The engineering is getting so
I know,
good.
and I
I'll
can't
tell
do
you
it.
what.
I can't do it.
I thought I was going to be able to avoid all the movie stuff. I'm like, I have all that in a chug scale already, but they just look so much better. Transformers is one of those things I'm going to keep rebuying that shit forever.
In
No.
the four franchise, I quit Transformer now.
No, you did.
Oh, really? Done?
Done.
Now, are you going to sell your stuff you have?
Oh no, I just stopped. Yeah.
Just not any future.
Yeah, I'm just not buying any more. So yeah.
I just have to have a leash. That's all. I just got to be careful about what I'm getting into.
Dude, I need constant leashes. That's how I create my focuses. And then Cliff, you always seem like you have a good head on your shoulders. Maybe the MCU figures was kind of a rabbit hole deep dive for you, but you still seem fine with it. How do you see your habits evolve?
Well, we're pumping the brakes because I finally after years of having the itch, I finally scheduled a new tattoo. So we're gonna pump the brakes on the toys for a little while, and I'm gonna get some ink. But we'll see how that goes.
Anything
Nice.
fun that the group would be happy about, or
The Rocketeer.
is it more personal?
Nice, the Rocketeer.
That the Art Deco from the teaser poster where he's on a diagonal and it's like all the lines.
Nice. I can go with that. Speaking of which, KJ, I didn't realize this.
Oh shit!
This was back when you were talking, and I totally missed it. I was in the private chat instead of comments. So, I mean, it's a big thing, and I'll tell you what. Like, the problem with me is what's the 7 deadly sin? Not sloth. The one where you indulge. Gluttony.
Gluttony?
Yeah, that's just me. Like I can't even say, I'm doing this because it's my sober hobby. Like, I still get drunk all the time and I buy fucking toys all the time. So I'm just like an addict, dude. Just anything that fucking pushes that fucking serotonin button, booze, toys, doing podcasts, being internet famous,
right?
What's the Smodcast? Minor internet celebrity. What is?
Yeah.
They have a word for it. I forget. MERP. Minor internet radio personality. MERP.
So I want to say one thing about the bubble. I don't think there'll ever be a vintage bubble. I think vintage is just going to be harder and harder to find because a lot of those things are not going to leave people's collections. I think you buy vintage more because it creates a memory or a feeling. I think what's going to be the bubble is the retail. Like what's coming out right now, I think in fucking 5 years, no one's going to fucking give a fuck about the 180 different versions of The Mandalorian. There might be 1 or 2 that rise to the top, but I think the retail bubble right now, I'm spending double what I spent in previous years this year, trying to keep up with retail of just stuff I want. And I think that's where the bubble's going to be.
Jason, I have a complete opposite effect on the prediction.
Yeah. No, I know. That's what I was responding to. You thought the bubble's in vintage.
In the vintage, yeah.
So. No,
it's just because we're getting older and we're going to be like the next baby boomer is going to be gone. And these kids are not into all that old stuff. and that market is going to be gone.
Peter
And
makes a
This-
really
they're
good
not-
point about that.
They're not into this stuff though either.
They'll get into the
into this.
90s and the 2000s stuff. The 80s stuff, that'll be beyond them. They'll be like, that's old tin toys.
exactly.
That's the exact analogy that I've been hearing is the people that collected those cars. That
It's
market
Power
those
Rangers
people-
and Ben 10 coming.
Yeah.
Pogs.
Well, in
Put all your
Pokemon,
money in
right? We're
Pogs.
seeing
Those are gonna come
Pokemon.
back.
Well, 25th
So-
anniversary will be their version of mint on card vintage, right? The stuff, the
But see,
80s
they
stuff
won't-
that they won't have
they
any
won't
concept
even-
of that.
Yeah, exactly. They won't even care because I mean, maybe I see some people like wanting like Transformers movie stuff, which is funny because it's like worthless nowadays, especially a studio series. But I see people wanting those cards, you know, like they saw when they were a kid and fucking, you know.
They won't care about
2000s.
80s Transformers because they
Yeah.
they don't have the same articulation and play value as the ones that they have now, right?
Well,
So-
yeah, and how detailed, you know,
Exactly,
the
exactly.
Bayformers are.
Like we see the relevance in it, but that generation doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
Well, thank you.
So wait, so does anybody know? Does anybody recognize that? Like, if I say you're not wrong, so if someone says something to you, and then you like someone will just reply, "You're not wrong." Does that mean anything to anyone on the show right now?
No.
Oh, is it a reference to
It's
something?
it's interesting to me because I think it's the younger. It's not our generation that is using it. It's the step below us, the millennials or whatever you want to call it.
God,
Zoomers?
I'm listening to a lot of podcasts of collectors that are collecting hot toys. I still listen to podcasts that collect hot toys and stuff like that, and statues and stuff like that. And
Did they cry and stuff on the show?
No, I mean these collectors are spending they're spending a lot of money. I mean, because the prices keep on going up and everything. But what I'm noticing is just the dialect that they're using. So somehow in our group or our a generation, someone snuck in the I don't know what you want to call it, but if I make a statement and then I would say right at the end of it, like I would confirm it without actually someone agreeing with me, but I would just literally slap in your face and say right at the end of my statement.
Mhm.
And like I'm enforcing something. Somehow that has gotten into us, and we use that all the time, right? So that's definitely something that we do. But I'm definitely noticing that the younger generation is using this thing where they're saying you're not wrong, like.
Because they can't fucking commit to anything, man.
Yeah, it's just
That's very
it's interesting.
encouraging of them.
It's just interesting. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. The communication nomenclature, for sure.
But yeah,
AAA, you said you had one more question.
Yes, we have a question for the
Let's make it
show.
quick. We're almost
no, you
2
can't.
hours.
There is no question for the show, dude.
That's
If
why
you're on the show,
Yeah,
there's
you're
no
on the
question
show.
for the
There's no
show.
open
No,
question.
it doesn't work that way.
It's very simple.
No.
It's very simple, and it's always been Jason's thing that he's been doing a lot of collecting focus. Okay.
Well, he doesn't know what that means, so it doesn't matter.
Well, all of us actually have a different word, probably a different meaning for this. What is collecting focus? Why? Why do you have a collecting focus? Go.
I don't know what collecting focus is. All I know is
So-
we tried to talk about this on this show. There is no. That was what this.
Wait. Let's say what Jason. What you were going to say something, Jason? Go ahead.
So for me, it's leashes, right? I think we were talking about like you need to fucking rein yourself back in. I think fucking Roger was talking about that. Like you've got to draw lines. So to me, focuses are a way to draw lines. And the easy way I look at this is Black Major. Okay, so he makes those factory produced KO custom G.I. Joe O-ring figures. Okay, so he'll pick a troop builder, a Cobra Trooper, a bat, a worm, Night Fighter,
Snake Eyes,
kind of shit. Yeah, and he'll make every version you could ever think of: a green Python Patrol, a maroon Python Patrol, a gray Python Patrol, a Tiger Force, an Arctic, a purple one to go with fucking the Televipers. You know, like he'll make every color version of it. And so I have got to draw a line. So focuses are a way for me to draw a line. I collect Python Patrol and I collect Tiger Force. So whenever he drops a new wave, I buy those ones. There's an even more specific one with he produces Tiger Force figures that have Cobra logos, and unless I can remove those with like a fucking magic eraser or something, then I won't buy those either, you know. But that's what focuses allow me to do is I'm not going to buy every fucking Transformer that comes out because I love every Transformer. I'd love to play with every single one, but I need to have a quote focus. And again, they get ridiculous, you know.
Well,
I have
wait.
120 focuses.
What about this? Like one of them is Royal Guard. Why would we have to every time you see a Royal Guard, you have to buy one? Why? Is there something that triggers your mind that's saying, "Hey, that's the character I grew up with," or is it just it's the mystery behind the mask of this character?
He likes the red and the black, man. Don't you watch the show?
Yeah,
No, it's the most
Red is his
beautiful
focus.
trooper ever made. Yeah, red actually is a focus, but
Yeah.
I wasn't lying.
But no, so every focus I have has a different meaning to it. Like I had no connection to Python Patrol and Tiger Force growing up. None. I was already out by the time those were coming out and all that kind of stuff. I love them because they're the fucking goofiest thing you've ever seen, and the paint
Eco Warriors?
is super cool.
I present
and-
Eco Warriors.
And the paint is cool. Eco Warriors is the most ridiculous thing you've ever seen, and the paint apps and all that are
Dude, the Play-Doh
as
fucking
hell.
mech armor.
Mega Marines,
Yeah,
dude.
it's-
Yes, those were
Play-Doh
awesome.
mech armor.
Yeah,
I love that
But I
Play-Doh
mean-
armor.
Python Patrol, they have the cool snake patterns and all that, you know. So
They had
so
a
that's
cartoon
why
to
I
back
did
them
that.
up on that shit.
But
But I
yeah,
think
so
where Angel's going with this is like, for me, a focus. I love the Big Four. I love all 80s toys that were made, but my focus was G.I. Joe. That was the one that I connected the most with.
Okay. I think that's not the same kind of
No?
focus I'm thinking.
Okay, so
so basically, it's like this.
AAA. Let me answer your question because I think I have the answer you're looking for. Not to
Wait, I'll
I
give
think
you
I
one
know
example.
what you're looking for. Okay.
There's a collector who collects only Optimus Prime. I mean, what? I mean, a shrine of Optimus Prime. This person is not satisfied until you have the next Optimus Prime. It's the same character, but engineered differently with different brands.
that's what I do.
Like Jason and Snake Eyes?
I have 100 Optimus Primes. I have 60 Snake Eyes.
But I think he's talking about focuses that it's sole focus. Like
Yeah,
I collect all kinds of
like I
things,
said,
but I also have a
yeah.
Superman focus.
Mhm.
I buy every
But there-
every retail Superman.
Can
In
you
the
tell
Star
me why?
Wars groups,
I
you
love
see
Superman.
lots of
Oh.
people that just
That's
have
it.
like 100 of one figure.
Yeah, like
see, like, a
Dan
detail.
Larson from Toy Galaxy.
Yeah, there'd be
That's
like a
Bubba Set.
detail.
That's where
4 shelves filled all the same character.
that's
You know,
where I
300
looked at
Bosk figures.
From Dan Larson?
No,
Oh.
from a different Star Wars collecting podcast. They would have people on there that they collect this character from Star Wars, and now I would never do this, but they have the $12,000 Uze, 1978 Indian prototype, and that's how crazy they got with it. Now I don't get that crazy, but I thought that was a cool concept that they have 18 different versions of the character released in the United States because of all these minor differences.
So
Yeah,
this
well,
question,
well, Yeah.
This question
Or
led
all those
to
different card backs of the same figure. It's like, especially with Star Wars, there could be like 9 different card backs for the same figure.
Try a logo, 8-back, 9-back, 10-back. Yeah.
All the different offers, like the Emperor offer, Admiral Akbar
Yeah.
offer, Neenum offer, you know.
Rocket Fire.
That's
Yeah, I
right.
gotcha.
this question actually led from the Triclops collection that I had, and somebody commented it was a Johnny or something, the engineer. Forgot his
Engineer
name.
nerd?
Yeah,
John.
Yeah.
John.
So
yes.
really, AAA
So-
asks questions because he has answers.
No, no. It's kind of like curious, like in my mind, going like,
It's
why
funny
do I
that we
buy
bring this
all
up.
these?
I have this great story. You brought it up.
It's like, why do I have all these Triclops? And then he mentioned, like, is this one of your focuses? Oh my god! I turned into Jason. I didn't want it to be a focus. It wasn't meant to be, but you know, and it was because I was collecting 2000X, and I happened to have a Triclops. I was collecting classic. I didn't go on my way to buy Triclops. Like, if there's a statue of Triclops, I wouldn't buy it, or like a Mondo Triclops, I wouldn't buy it either.
You
'Cause-
say that now.
no,
Wait until Mondo solicits
Yeah,
it.
you wait till Mondo makes a Triclops. You're like, I'm in.
no.
Because I
Just-
almost bid on that faker. Because I love me some faker. But I was
So
like, I
I'm-
don't need a doll.
So I was just trying to define. Maybe Lotus. He maybe might have an answer. I don't know. What is it in our mind that just keeps buying the same character that we're not satisfied with, or is it just why do we need the same thing over and over? I don't know.
I just like the variety of Supermans. Like everybody makes Superman different. Like
And the
my
evolution,
superpower
right?
Superman next to my Toy Biz Superman, next to my DCUC Superman, next to my JLU Super. They're just cool. I like Superman, so I like having all the different ones.
I'm saying with Batman, I love
Yeah.
every version of it.
Hmm.
From Kenner to Toy Biz to what we have now to everything.
Yeah.
I was
Dude,
wondering if is there any way of getting just maybe 1 or 2, maybe even 3 definitive ones?
Well, then you're
So
not
that-
a collector then.
Oh no, we don't need to be.
And you don't have a
collectors.
sickness.
Oh, that'd be great.
I already have my
right, we're all
definitive
cured.
Superman, AAA. My definitive Superman is superpowers.
Uh-huh.
Ooh, see,
So
that's rough.
if all of them you have to get rid of, you just keep that one, right?
Yeah, I would. If I had to get rid of every toy I owned, the only 2 figures that would stand would be my superpowers Superman and my superpowers Clark Kent.
Nice.
There.
Okay, so there's still help. There's still what do you call it? Hopes in you.
AAA, I beat heroin. I'm full of hope.
Yeah, I was gonna say Cliff can do anything that he sets his mind to it. Fuck
Yeah,
it.
he sure can.
Over what 12 years clean, and now you're
Losing
under
weight,
100 pounds. Yeah, exactly. I never have any worries about Cliff whatsoever. he's going to be rescuing you in the zombie apocalypse. That the next time you see Cliff, he's going to be
True
like,
story.
"Come with
Okay.
me if you want
This-
to live."
This is very interesting. I'm looking at Slick's little icon. I go, this is a sickness of focusing collecting, and then I'm looking at Lotus. Is like he is an OCD number collector, and then Rock, he's this guy. He's an investor, and then Cliff. Oh no, let me see. He's pretty well rounded with everything too.
Yeah.
And I don't know what that
Except
is either.
except for the only thing you got to give Cliff is that he buys shit, opens it, puts it in a tote, and it goes away. So what's
what would
the
that
end
be?
game
But
for
that's
you,
Cliff. The Cliff has explained that he's
Yeah,
just
he doesn't
he's
have
in
the
a
room for it.
he's in a temporary living situation right now.
No, I
So
know.
that's the explanation. If he had a huge mansion or whatever, he'd have display all over the place.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
if anyone is curious as to what I do with my toys when I have place to display them, and we're friends on Facebook, there is an album called Cliff Cave. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what the number one focus, my number one focus in collecting is symmetry. Yeah, I will fucking spend 3 hours to put one Sky Striker somewhere so everything is fucking symmetrical, because I can't have a fucking not symmetrical display.
Oh my
That's
God.
so
That's
cool.
good. That's
I know.
really good.
I love to see
I
that.
like that.
Peter, we're friends on Facebook. It's called Cliff Cave. That's what I do.
I'll go there.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
All right. Well, we had a good long discussion. We're over 2 hours, and I know for some
That's
of our
weird.
East Coasters here, yeah.
Can I do one thing real quick before we leave? Sorry, Jason.
Oh yeah. No,
I have to give a
please.
shout out to JB in the group who hooks me up with the Major Blood. Even though we didn't get a what we got this week, I don't have it yet, but
Oh,
he
yeah.
did. He found a Major Blood and he sold it to me for a real good price, and he mailed it off to me. And I told him I'd give him a shout out. He's a fan of the cast.
Good
My
man.
Sayville Target right now has 10 of them.
Really?
Oh my god.
Right before the show, somebody in my Long Island Toy Group just posted there's a picture of 10 Major Bloods on the pegs right now.
Mine's in the mail and on the way here.
Nice.
So could this be the
Getting them.
first bubble? Are they gonna clearance? Like people paying $100?
I
for
fucking
them,
hope
and
so.
they're
I
gonna
just want to give Hasbro money, and I want their toy.
Yeah.
That's all I want. Like Hasbro,
Well-
Major Blood's really cool. Here is $20. Thank you for Major Blood. That's all I
Or
want.
maybe they finally caught up with production to meet demand.
Well, they've already announced they're reissuing the Baroness, and if you
Yeah,
look
I
on
saw that.
eBay, the Baroness
makes
is
sense.
fucking dropping into the ground right now.
Good.
Cobra
I want to
Trooper.
pay
She-
$39 for her.
She should drop to the ground.
What's with these?
That's where she belongs.
Oh, gotta love the misogyny in the toy community. Thank you, Lotus.
Hey, shout out to KJ. It looks like he had some struggles himself and got through it, and it's great to see. It's great to see good stories out of just life in general.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, no,
Yes,
no,
KJ.
He actually
My
wants me to put that up, but here I'll take
my
that
clean
back
date,
down.
KJ, is November 3rd, 2008.
Oh, nice. Oh, shit. Yeah, 13. November. Oh, yeah. 12 and a half.
So yeah, it'll be 13 in November,
Yeah.
November 3rd.
Mm. Props to you, brother. That's fucking amazing. I hope to be there one. Yeah, I kind of like still getting fucked up.
Jason, you're functioning. My life was unraveling.
Yeah. I mean, that's true. And that's the horrible thing, right? Same thing with my toy collecting. Like, every nook and cranny of my house is completely filled, but my house is still functioning. So I'm not quite at the illness
Until
level
you
yet.
move.
Yeah, until
Yeah.
you fucking move,
Rob,
man.
dude, when you told me, when we talked about this earlier, and I was just like, Jesus Christ, I couldn't even fucking imagine moving. I can't imagine it, And we will be looking for a new house as soon as the fucking market dips in 2 to 5 years.
I told you once the moving guys told me that we need another truck and another crew to come to your house, I knew that was it. That was the moment of realization that I fucked up. And I'm like, when I got a moving guys telling that the equivalent of we need a bigger boat, we need another
a
truck.
second house.
Yeah, and I'm like, I moved to a bigger house. It's fucking 5 bedrooms. What am I gonna do? Next house will be 7 bedrooms, like because I can put more shit in it. No,
No, you just need a big barn, dude. Big barn.
nope. I just need more time on eBay.
All right, guys, it's been amazing having everybody. Brinkalizer, KJ, Ed Arndt, thank you. Other people that have been watching us but not chiming in, we appreciate you joining us. We'll be back in 2 weeks with a regular news show talking about all the new stuff, at least in the last month or whatever. So we'll see you soon.
Can I show you the
rather
shit
than
I got in the
later.
wild?
Oh, later. Oh,
Really? You're going to wait till we get to that point.
Did you find
Show
something
us-
cool?
Show us
Yes.
2 things you got in the wild.
All right,
They
let's
better
see.
be impressive.
Turn a light on so we can see them. Oh, look at that shit.
Faker.
Faker. Yeah.
Oh, Fizz.
Fisto.
Fisto.
Oh, I sent them over.
Here, maybe let's see. I can turn on my
Evil
video.
in.
for
Evil
1
in.
second.
So you got the whole wave.
And a
Yeah.
load of power.
And then I got this bad boy, which I'm quite happy about.
Wait, did he show 2 things?
He
I'll
showed
show
3.
3 things.
I'm done for.
Oh, God, you guys.
He's looking
Thank
for
you,
the...
Peter, for this fucking
Oh,
thing.
you
The
found it.
fuck?
Yeah.
Oh, look at
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
Daddy wants it.
I'm
Daddy
frozen
wants
on
it.
my end.
Daddy
He's got the
wants it.
Castle of Grayskull.
I want that. If you find an extra
Oh,
one,
my
Jason.
God. I'm looking for multiples. Sorry, I ruined your Thunder bat ass. You got a gray skull over there?
Yes, I got a gray skull.
Hey, what are
I
the toy
found
shells
one
like in
too.
That is
Wyoming?
impressive.
Got mine off Walmart's website.
Oh yeah.
I got
Me
mine
too.
on pre-order at BBTS. I'm good. It'll come in eventually.
I found it in the wild.
And then my only other thing I want to show.
Oh,
You got one.
You
I've been
found
looking
it.
for it.
Patton. Dude, their Walmart in Casper, Wyoming, which is slightly bigger, it's like 40,000 people. Their Walmart had 9 of them, like
Really?
facing outwards. So I don't think they're like they're not short packed or anything. So you'll see them if you're looking for them.
I'm not. I'll tell you what, though. I want that really bad. I'm not paying $1 or a penny more than $1.20 for it.
Exactly.
Cliff,
Neither
I'll
would
find one. Don't worry. I'll send one out to you. I'll fuck those fucking Hot Wheel guys
It'll
up.
be $18 shipping from Canada, though.
Yeah, no shit, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, I'll buy 5 of them and I'll save shipping, and then I'll send you one,
And then you can return 4 of them to Walmart.
and then I'll return 4 of them at Walmart, and then it's all even.
All right, Cliff. Did you have 2 things you wanted to show? Before
No, I don't. I spent most. I didn't. Oh, I got McCready, but I don't really feel like getting up to show it to you. But I got McCready. It's badass.
Yeah, I've seen all the McCready stuff that you were showing.
Oh, love
Yeah,
it.
Yeah, that was
it
that's
Dude,
a
almost
I'm
sick
really-
made me
figure.
buy it.
I'm really coming
Almost.
around to the fucking real face, dude. It's
Puppy.
it looks cool, dude. Like I know it doesn't look like Kurt Russell, but I'm really coming around to the unhooded face.
I think I want to
got
get.
in
I
this
think I want to
week,
get him.
278 linear feet of PVC fence.
Woo! I really
It's not
like
getting
our
installed until
PVC
August, but I had to
fence.
pay now for it.
Oh my
Good call on
And
the
I got in
PVC,
window
dude.
treatments today. Ooh,
god! Shades
I
in the
got
house.
light filtering, and I got full sun blocking.
Good call on PVC, Rock. Wood is crazy right now, seeing as someone who has to
I
write
know.
estimates for a living. Like,
Oh my god!
A 2x4 went from being $2 to $10. A sheet of plywood has gone up to, by me, is $84 right now.
yeah,
And
we're looking at
metal
6
on the
times.
fucking roof.
600% markups now on wood right now for a fucking. I had to repair a little old lady's fence the other day, and it was like fucking $1,200. I was like, Jesus Christ, like it's crazy.
All right.
Everything is right now.
Hey, I have a short haul, and that's surprising. Usually it's a long haul.
You can only show what you got if you show what you got.
I'll just tell you. It's going to be really
No, that's what I'm saying. That's not allowed.
Camera comes
All right.
on, Peter.
I
Yeah.
don't have a camera.
Somehow we picked up more watchers since we tried to enter the show. So
Because it just went off the rails.
That's exactly. They were like, "When's this going off the rails? It's way too structured right now."
So, hey, by the way, I found Triclops and Trapjaw right on the wild, and I
Yeah.
wasn't gonna collect this
Nice.
line before. Wait, hold on, and you know what? I'm not doing this line. So I somehow I put it somewhere hidden, just maybe in case I would. And then when I found the Sky Sled for $10, I was like, oh man, I need to buy them. Then I went back to those stores that I put Triclops and.
Oh, you're
Trapjaw.
one of those guys who hide fucking
Yeah,
toys.
what are you,
Yes.
fucking 10?
What
Waiting
the
for
fuck?
Valentine's
What
Day?
the-
Travis does that.
But you know what? I bought them anyway, so I was intended to. Well, actually, I wasn't intended to buy them, but hey, I'm
That's
in
sh-
now.
That shit I used to pull while I was waiting for allowance.
Yeah, like you go to the tool aisle and you find a fucking He-Man sitting behind a bunch of screwdrivers and shit.
Hey, my friend has a toy podcast, a TV podcast, and they actually talked about they hide the wrestling figures in Walmart behind the comforters because people don't really straighten out the comforters too much. So they'll put the wrestling figures there. Then when he gets paid, he'll go back and pick the figures up. I'm like, it's $20 fucking. You don't have $20 on your credit card
Fucking
to go put it
brutal.
on there.
I'm like, give a cashback card.
It's not
buddy.
$20. It's like a rabbit hole down. Okay, if you get that one, that's it. You're done.
Yeah, but he's going to
But
get
they
it
were
later
talking about-
anyway. That's why he's hiding it.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. That's why he's hiding it.
Yeah, well, I wasn't sure in my case. I was like, damn, that's I shouldn't have picked
So
up
you're
the
like, no one
Sky
should enjoy these because I don't know if I want them.
Exactly. You're gonna get lost in Walmart hell.
Slide. And then I'll get clearance, which is awesome.
Or you could be the other toy collector who mashes the bubble on purpose in the fucking
Oh
store.
no, that's
my
awful.
God.
Yeah,
They don't bother me because I'm an opener. I'll take that fucking mash bubble anyway. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, that's actually true.
I picked
too.
up one of these, and at
Oh,
Toys R Us, they were all
back to-
open with empty
back to bad.
cases.
Because
Oh.
they didn't know how to figure out what was inside. Oh
No, they just stole the guys out of,
shoplifted the
out of it and then left the fucking
Oh.
boxes on there.
Oh,
Well, here, okay. One funny story. One slightly.
Jason, we're losing you.
curious.
We're losing, yeah.
Okay.
And it's
so-
one.
oh, Jesus.
Oh, you're fine now. Go ahead.
Sooner
Yeah.
rather than later.
Okay.
Yeah, we tried
So,
that last 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, exactly. Toy show I went to, this guy had all of the retail classified stuff, super high markups, had all the hard to find Black Series stuff, all this. He had a Cody, the archive one, and I was like, I never got a Cody. I want to get a Cody. And he gave it to me for $25. So I was like, fuck yeah. Went to a good friend of mine's booth that we've both been selling toys at the same shows for years, over 10 years now. And I always try to buy something from his booth. And that motherfucker had a crushed bubble Cody for $15. So the sickness, I bought that one as well, and now I have a perfectly mint carded archive Cody that I have to sell for $25 to make it worth it to buy the $15 one. There's the sickness.
Yep.
There's the
Yep.
shit. So, all right, we'll see you guys sooner rather than later.
Rather than
later rather
Later
than
than-
sooner. Peace.
Oh, my shit's not responding very well. Did I start the wrong one again? Oh, I think I did.
Just let the show end.
Jason, just end transmission. It's frozen on YouTube.
Yeah, it's frozen.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.